The feds are questioning Snoop Dogg and his involvement with Tupac because he knows Keefe. They're from the same area, they're from the same city in LA. And this is the reason why a lot of people have been pointing the fingers at Snoop Dogg and saying that Snoop Dogg might have been jealous that Tupac has so much success in the same label. Suge Knight was picking favorites at that time, and he knew that Tupac was gonna make him way more money than Snoop Dogg in that short amount of time. So this is why they went all in on Tupac. Snoop Dogg was sitting in the back seat, basically taking a backseat ride because at first he was the superstar in LA. Everybody thought that he was the biggest rapper in LA and everything. Then Tupac came around and he changed the whole idea of what rap even means. And at that time, a lot of people was actually more fans of Tupac than they were fans of Snoop Dogg. And this is what led down to a lot of people thinking that Snoop Dogg, P. Diddy, they sat there and talked with Keefe and found the way to actually make something happen. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these dudes, Suge Knight, Snoop Dogg, Keefe D, they grew up first doing things into the streets. They just got lucky that they found a way to actually make it legit through doing the music and hip hop and everything like that. But you know for a fact that Tupac was the biggest artist to come out of LA ever, man. And at the end of the day, man, put the 222s for Tupac if you rocking for Tupac. If you think that Tupac is the best rapper to ever do it, I want you to put justice for Tupac, because we need justice for Tupac. We need the Tupac Memorial. We need people to remember how he's the biggest artist to ever make it out, and everybody else is second place to Tupac. There's nobody that's going to be better than him, not even Biggie, because at the end of the day, Biggie was a good rapper, but Tupac changed way more people. He had the influence. He actually makes it to what it is today, to where everybody's looking for the people and the rappers who's actually going to be able to interact with the audience and make a change and everything like that. And this is the reason why Snoop Dogg kind of fell off and Tupac went up. Snoop Dogg is still a household name, but that's thanks to Tupac for holding up the Death Row label and everything. If Tupac never did the music he did, Snoop Dogg would have never bought Death Row. Suge Knight would have never even got to the level that he got to, and he's lucky that he had Tupac to actually ride off of his back the success from that, because everybody knows Suge Knight does not rap. Suge Knight is not a good rapper. He would have never made it on his own. He needed people like Tupac. He needed people like Snoop Dogg, because they had the connections to the whole LA, to the whole people who was listening to the music in that era and everything. And then once Tupac came around, he went global. People were listening to Tupac in Germany, in France, all these other countries and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, man, Biggie was good, but P. Diddy seen that the competition was from Tupac was very strict. And this is the reason why he somebody put it in his head that he had to get people out the way, because at the end of the day, you see how P. Diddy's a billionaire. He didn't just get there for no reason. He had to actually get a lot of people dropped and set up, and he had to knock a lot of people out of their spots for him to even make it to that. You could ask Nas, Jay-Z, and 50 Cent. 50 Cent knows exactly what's going on because he used to speak to P. Diddy. He's seen P. Diddy growing up. He's seen Tupac growing up. He actually watched both of them and tried to model his whole career after that. And this is why Mike Tyson said that he's Tupac's best friend, because he was the only person that was actually trying to get the justice for Tupac. Everybody else that was on the Tupac scene, man, they ran away. They didn't want to give no statements to the police or nothing like that. They thought they would be snitching if they try to actually get the justice for Tupac. And so when Tupac's mom came up to Mob James, Suge Knight, everybody that was there at the Tupac scene, Tupac's mom sat there and was like, how y'all see everything? You watch Tupac get hit up and pass and everything, but you don't want to tell Tupac's mom what happened. And this is the crazy thing, man. This is why you can't trust nobody. Nobody will ever be loyal to you at all, because at the end of the day, even in Tupac's downfall, his last day, his last breathing moments, they still won't tell his family exactly what happened and who did it to them, because they don't even want to get into that. At the end of the day, the loyalty was thrown out the window when Tupac told them, if you want to be with us and you want to actually tag along and we pay for all your trips and everything to go to the Mike Tyson fight in Vegas, you have to actually ride for Tupac. You have to actually be there. If something happens, you got to have his back. And they didn't have his back because they still let the people get around them and pull up next to Tupac with the window open, and the guy stuck his arm out the window. When are we going to get the justice for Tupac? Why is all of our big leaders in the community, all these rappers, they getting dropped, especially the ones who actually got a lot of meaningful entire things to it. They've been trying to raise the community upright. They've been giving back to their old neighborhood. They've been trying to teach all the youngins how to get up, how to actually make it out the hood and not try to do things the wrong way, but how to do things the right way and stay on the straight and narrow so that they could get things done legit without having to do all the stuff like hanging out on the block, on the street corner, doing whatever it is that they do. And so at the end of the day, you got to realize that Tupac was really actually very into his fans, and the fans was actually missing Tupac a lot. If you're a Tupac fan, I want you to put the 222 in the comment section. We got to hear from all the Tupac fans. All the Tupac fans, stand up. Let me know where you from. If you rocking with Tupac, if you rocking with P. Diddy, if you rocking with Biggie, because the Biggie case is about to get solved right after the Tupac case, because it's the same people in the Biggie case. You guys got to understand that Keefe D was there when Biggie got hit up. So they're going to ask Keefe D to do another proffer agreement for the Biggie trial in order for him to give up the information on who actually hit Biggie up, because everybody know Poochie was the dude who hit Biggie up, and that leads back to Keefe D. When Keefe D was at that party, he seen everything, man. Keefe D was at the MGM when Tupac stomped Orlando Anderson. He was standing in the background trying to act like he didn't see it so that Orlando gets mad and tries to storm Tupac, or Orlando gets mad and goes to him and says, we got to go stand on business. And so that's exactly what they did. He read his mind. He knew what was coming. They let that whole fight play out so that they could have a reason to use the $1 million hit on Tupac. They instantly paged P. Diddy when Tupac stomped out Orlando Anderson, and they told him, hey, man, yo, the op that you want to get hit up, we just seen him. He just tried to drop one of our dudes. You got to expedite that $1 million ASAP. If they find that check that Diddy wrote for the $1 million, this is the one thing that's going to lead him to get locked up behind this, because they know for a fact that Keefe D already implicated him into the whole entire shooting. He implicated him and actually snitched on him and told him that he was the leader and the mastermind of this whole thing. This is why they turned it into a Rico. As soon as they went and asked Keefe D the questions on Vlad TV and he gave the answers exactly, thinking that the feds wasn't going to listen, he implicated P. Diddy into the Rico on his own. The feds wasn't even going to do a Rico on P. Diddy, but after what Keefe D said and the statements that he made, he testified against his own people. Y'all got to understand, Keefe D is testifying against his own people. So everybody that's playing around in the streets and thinking the street life is for you, it ain't it, because the guy who thought he was the biggest street guy in the whole world ended up telling on his own people, his own crew, and got everybody knocked up, got everybody hit up and everything like that. When it comes down to the fact that P. Diddy is going to have to do a 50-year bid for the Tupac setup, this is what it goes back down to. They didn't think that Keefe D was going to tell on him, because P. Diddy thought that he was going to be able to give the $1 million to Keefe D, and that $1 million would be enough to make it for him to actually take the hush money, because he could have still bonded out for $100K. Nobody thought they were going to get caught. Nobody planned on the karma coming back to bite them. Nobody planned on the fact that Tupac is looking down and actually sending the karma right back to P. Diddy. He sent the karma right back to Keefe D for them even thinking of setting up a leader in the community and everything like that. Because if Tupac was still here, he would have made sure to be way more than what Diddy had. He would have been way bigger than Jay-Z. And y'all got to understand, this is the type of things that P. Diddy didn't want. This is the people who sat there in that room behind closed doors talked about how they wanted to set Tupac up, because they knew for a fact that he was going to be the biggest name in the whole entertainment industry. And this is the reason really why that people was jealous about Tupac. They had the envy and the greed, because he was going to make more money than them. He had the ear to the streets, and the people actually rock with him better because he wasn't a gangbanger. He was a legitimate artist who actually had a lot of meaningful things to say in his music, who could change lives. So he was trying to actually tell people how to do everything and not be bitten in the back, don't do no wrong, this and that. He had Dear Mama, California Love. He has so many songs that a lot of the Tupac fans still listen to till this day. If you guys still listen to Tupac, I want you guys to put your favorite Tupac song in the comment section. Make sure you guys get the Tupac merch. We got the Tupac shirts, the Tupac albums. You could get your own vinyl copy of the Tupac album and hang it on your wall, because everything is going back to support the fact that we need to build up this Tupac memorial. They already got the Tupac Shakur Way in Oakland. I want to send my applaud and say good job to Oakland for actually putting the Tupac street name. They've been watching our videos. They've been hearing about the fact that we getting ready to put the Tupac Memorial right in the scene of the spot that he got hit up on Caval Lane and Flamingo. We starting the construction and everything soon. We need y'all to actually show your support. Put the 222s in the comment section, because everybody got to show up and show out for this Tupac unveiling. When we unveil the new memorial, everybody got to be there, and everybody got to recognize that Tupac is the greatest artist in hip-hop history, and there's nothing that nobody could do to say or anything about it to change that. And this is cemented in the legacy, and we need to go ahead and put that up there and make it history.